Hey there. Welcome to Mission Forward. I'm your host, Carrie Fox. You might know that I write a weekly column on communications and life called Finding the Words. In addition to hosting this podcast, and on this season of the podcast, I'll be lifting up a few of those essays here as short-form episodes of the show. If you like what you hear, head over to mission.partners and sign up to get these insights delivered to your inbox each and every Wednesday morning. But now, on to this week's column. Watch for the signs. In 2020, the video game world learned something special about Marvel's newest Spider-Man character, Miles Morales. Turns out, he's pretty good at American Sign Language. Superfans already knew the character to be bilingual from the animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But trilingual? Yes, it's true. With a little digging into the Library of Congress, I found that one essential ASL gesture has indeed always been part of Spider-Man's powers. Many of us just hadn't noticed. For those who need a refresher, Spider-Man uses his index and pinky fingers to activate the web shooters in his palm. No, okay, all right, there's a whole meta-universe that would be far more exacting than I have been with this description, but it's as far as my Spidey knowledge can take us. So, technicalities aside, that specific hand gesture just so happens to be the very same ASL sign for love. Stan Lee, creator of the original webbed superhero, once said the reason he picked that finger pose for Spider-Man was because it is the sign for love, and he wanted Spider-Man to apprehend criminals with love. The sign was always there. What started as one sign became a call to action for the Marvel enterprise of today to lean into a much more inclusive version of its young action hero, and an opportunity to represent the Black deaf community in mainstream media in a way that had never been done before. Inclusion matters, but we haven't always leaned into its importance. Which reminds me of this great life lesson from Maya Angelou, who said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, you must do better." That time to do better has come. I recently came across a study in the Harvard Business Review that noted inclusive leadership as among the most essential traits for today's C-suite leaders. But as you might imagine, it's not just if you have the skill, it's how you use it. What we know at Mission Partners is that communications can be one of the greatest levers for change and one of the greatest tools to advance inclusion and belonging in the workplace. It's just a matter of how you choose to prioritize it in your daily work and actions. Marvel picked up on a sign and evolved a main character. Could you do the same? How might you pick up on the signs in your work to evolve your approach to inclusion? Perhaps you'll try real-time closed captioning in your next Zoom room, or maybe you'll improve the accessibility of your website. Maybe you will reimagine a campaign through the lens of accessibility. Once we know better, we must do better. And like Spider-Man's hand gesture, there are plenty of signs hiding in plain sight in your work as well. Today's bottom line, the signs are always there. It's just whether or not you choose to act on them. And that brings us to the end of this short-form episode of Mission Forward. If you heard something that's going to stick with you, drop me a line at carrie@mission.partners and let me know what's got you thinking. And definitely check out some of our longer-form shows on the power of communications. Mission Forward is produced with the support of Sadie Lockhart in association with True Story FM. Engineering by Pete Wright. If your podcast app allows for ratings and reviews, I hope you will consider doing just that for this show. But the best thing you can do to support Mission Forward is simply share the show with a friend or a colleague. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you next time.